Can I just say, you do not need to entertain this energy vampire. You don't have to be this performer, this exuberant version of yourself. You don't have to be smiling and laughing and just super charismatic and friendly. You can be in your truth. If you're feeling tired, you can show that in your body language. You don't have to be rude, but you don't have to fake feeling good. If somebody isn't making you feel good, then don't pretend you feel amazing and happy to be there. I've done that so many times because I just don't want people to feel hurt, but I've hurt myself in the process. Faking how you feel is one of the most painful things. Hello, my lovely, I'm Alessia. I'm so glad that you're here with me right now, honouring me with your presence. Even though I can't see you, I love to connect with you in the comment section, so please know that you can always share your thoughts with me. So today I'm going to be talking about spending time with draining people that aren't particularly aware of themselves. I'm going to talk about what it's like to be quite a sensitive person that cares and that wants to make people feel seen. I have had a tendency to lean into people pleasing and letting people drain me of my time and energy and love. I have been around people that are quite demanding of my attention, and it's been this real struggle for me to assert myself and to honour my wants and needs. You know, sometimes I don't want to sit and listen to people talk at me, and I've had to learn how to deal with that and how to say no in my own way that feels good to me. If any of this resonates with you, I think this video will be useful for you. So if you're anything like me, you might want a bit of validation. You might be thinking, am I crazy? Is this person really draining? Are they an energy vampire, or am I just making this up in my head? Firstly, I want to say, trust yourself. We'll get into that more, but you really need to trust in your feelings and what your body is telling you. So I'm going to give you some quick signs now to help you confirm that this person is in fact an energy vampire. Number 1, you feel bad after talking with them. Number 2, they talk at you, not with you. It's not this reciprocal conversation. It's usually this, ba ba da da da, and you're sat there kind of absorbing their energy and words constantly. You might feel quite emotionally drained and depleted after talking with them as a result of this being talked at. The third thing is they lack self-awareness and they're not very attentive to social cues like body language. Maybe you've wanted to hint towards ending the meetup, the interaction, by getting up and kind of walking towards the door, but they don't really stop talking at you. This is another sign that they're just kind of very unaware of how the other person in the room is feeling. The fourth sign is they attract drama, or they love to kind of relish in other people's relationship issues or just anything that's particularly negative. Number 5, they talk over you, or they make you feel like your life, your opinions, your stories are less interesting and less important than theirs. And number 6, they often struggle to receive feedback. You might have tried to communicate with them how you feel to try and improve your relationship, and they might have just been very defensive and not willing to chat things through. That is another sign that they are an energy vampire. So my lovelies, you've clicked on this video, you're dealing with someone that's making you feel super drained. The first thing that I want to say to you is trust what your body is telling you. If somebody is making you feel panicked, anxious, tired, on edge, uncomfortable, that is your truth. Nobody can argue with how you feel. You're not making this up, you're not crazy, you're not attention seeking, you're not a drama queen. You're just listening to what your body is showing you. Your feelings are not up for debate, and I know that you're not making this up to be difficult or to make the other person feel bad or because you want an argument. If you leave an interaction with somebody and you feel completely depleted and drained and hopeless and just want to sit on the sofa and not talk to anybody, you can't debate that. You can't make that up. So please trust in what your body is revealing to you right now. I also really don't want you to give anybody the opportunity to take away your clarity. You know how you feel. You're in touch with your body, you're in touch with your emotions, you are an intuitive person, and that is amazing. If you're able to recognize quite quickly and reflect on how people make you feel, that's a real strength. Some people can be so tuned out to that. That should be your guiding light to understanding what is right for you. So I really quickly want to interrupt because Magic Mind recently reached out to me to do this 7-day challenge where I incorporate these little shots into my routine for 7 days in a row. I really care about collaborating with brands that care about people's mental health, and I really got that impression straight away from them. They make mental performance shots that help you boost productivity and de-stress. So I've been incorporating these mental performance shots into my routine, and I felt so good off the back of it. My energy levels have increased, but simultaneously, I'm feeling calmer, which usually don't go together. I'm feeling quite in control, which is a first. I firmly believe in treating myself and my body with kindness. I really like to avoid pushing myself to work hard and instead want to work wisely. I like to work from a place of peace and genuineness and enthusiasm. And these shots have really helped me do that. There are many amazing ingredients in these shots. A lot of them are really good for sustained focus, actually. So for the girls that struggle to concentrate, it's worth giving this a shot. So use my code Alessia20 in capital letters, or use this link I'm going to put on the screen to get up to 48% off your first subscription in the next 10 days. Thank you, Magic Mind. If your issue is with a friend, for example, in your friendship group, it might be quite tempting to go and speak to another friend in the group to see how they feel about the person, to try and get them to kind of agree with you. I really encourage you not to do this because they might not feel the same way. And imagine how invalidating that's going to be. You know what you feel drained after seeing this person, so why do you need somebody else to confirm that? Asking other people their opinion only gives them the power to invalidate your opinion, how you feel. Other people might not feel the same way. They might not recognize this person as an energy vampire, as somebody who's draining, as somebody who's just a lot to be around. Other people might feel comfortable in their presence, or they might not have really reflected on how they feel around this person and recognize that maybe they are quite a draining energy. That is fine. That is for them to deal with. Let people have their own relationships and opinions and experiences and interpretations. And also let yourself have your own interpretation. I really want you to validate yourself first, to just take a moment to tell yourself, oh, that was a lot. I'm drained after being with that person. I feel tired. I feel actually quite sad and panicky. I deserve a moment. I don't really want to spend time with this person again, and that's okay. I'm gonna gift myself that space. Just take a moment to really think about yourself, nurture yourself, and tell yourself what you need to hear. Rather than going to other people and hoping they'll tell you what you need to hear, tell yourself. Be your own mother, your own best friend. Gift yourself those reassuring words. I really get wanting to get other people's opinions and to feel like you're not the only one feeling this way. I think that's a very human thing. So please don't feel like you're insecure and you need other people to back you up. It's an instinctual thing. And you can go and chat with your friends and your family about this. I'm not encouraging you to bottle this up and keep it to yourself. I'm just encouraging you to validate yourself first, so that when you go to other people, you're not expecting them to say, you're right. You're just sharing because you've already validated yourself. You don't need them to say, I get you. You just need them to listen. Feel free to share with those close to you, but do not expect them to say that they feel the same way as you. Take a moment to just be alone with your thoughts, maybe go into the bathroom and sit on the floor and lean against the door. I don't know about you, but I love processing feelings in the bathroom. It just feels like such a safe place. And also give yourself permission to cry if you need that. Crying is so beautiful. It's not a reflection of weakness, it's a reflection of strength. Being able to express your emotions. If you can cry at the drop of a hat, I think that's a superpower, because then you get to kind of move on and not ruminate in the sadness. So allow yourself to just feel. If you've already gone to somebody hoping that they will share your opinions on this person and validate you, and they've not validated you, I just want to remind you that everybody handles tricky people and tricky situations differently. Some people avoid, some people distract themselves, some people pretend. We're all so different. We all handle things super differently. We all take time to get to our own understandings of things, and that's absolutely fine. It all happens for a reason. So let others find their own truth and trust in yours. You might be in a situation where you cannot avoid spending time with this energy vampire, or you don't want to avoid spending time with them. Maybe they're an uncle and you have to see them at family events because you want to be around the rest of your family. I've got some tips to help you survive those interactions, to help you come to those events as a stronger person with a bit of a plan. So, patience is a virtue. I cannot express that enough. If you can't escape this energy vampire, I implore you to use the word patience to guide you. I want you, when you're around this person and you're starting to feel super drained and tired and they're talking at you, to say to yourself, patience. Softly and sweetly. I don't want this to be an aggressive voice. I want this to be a really nurturing, maternal voice. Patience. Really let it vibrate in your body. Feel it in your body. Feel it ground you and put you in a position of power. Visualize the word patience being spelt out in your lower belly. And do deep breaths as you do this. It can be a really mindful moment. And you can do this without people even realizing. If this person is talking at you, you actually have ample time to practice mindfulness, to do those deep breaths. Can I just say, you do not need to entertain this energy vampire. You don't have to be this performer, this exuberant version of yourself. You don't have to be smiling and laughing and just super charismatic and friendly. You can be in your truth. If you're feeling tired, you can show that in your body language. You don't have to be rude, but you don't have to fake feeling good. If somebody isn't making you feel good, then don't pretend you feel amazing and happy to be there. I've done that so many times because I just don't want people to feel hurt. But I've hurt myself in the process. Faking how you feel is one of the most painful things. Obviously, there are times when we can choose to keep things to ourselves, to protect ourselves, or when they're just not necessary to vocalize. But I really encourage you to try and be more yourself around these energy vampires, to try and be a bit more true to how you're feeling. Now, if you're anything like me, you might feel the urge to run away, to escape the situation and the person. You might have many voices in your head saying, oh my God, you need to get out of here, this is too much. You might just be filled with panic, and this might make the interaction with the energy vampire far more painful. With every word they say, you might start to panic more. What I really encourage you to do is to not focus on the panic, on the negative sides of being around this person, and to instead focus on self-soothing and relaxing. If you're around an energy vampire, likelihood is they have this kind of big personality, or they take up a lot of space. So there is time for you to go inward and self-reflect and have those mindful moments. So I really encourage you to do what feels good for you. That might be doing deep breaths. That might be drawing. Maybe you're at their house. And whilst they're talking to you, you can just bring out a notebook and start sketching. Doesn't mean you have to ignore them. You can still look up at them every now and then, but it gives you that little buffer. It can be so intense looking someone in the eyes and just feeling their words penetrate us. So I really encourage you to just add something in to make the situation a bit more bearable. Other things that you could do is you could ask to change locations, maybe suggest a walk, or you could suggest a different activity. Maybe, you're having a really intense conversation, it's just too much for you and too overwhelming. Maybe you can suggest to put a good film on or play a game. You can influence what happens. You can have a say. I know these people tend to be quite domineering, but there are ways that you can make this slightly more comfortable for you. Now, maybe you're going to be in a situation with an energy vampire soon and you're kind of dreading it and quite worried. I want to help you kind of reposition how you see this. Maybe it will be this really draining, tiring, scary thing, or maybe it could be something that's really beneficial that you can learn a lot from. You can see this time with the energy vampire as an opportunity to assert yourself. This is a great time to challenge yourself. Maybe you've always been a people pleaser and you really want to learn how to stand up for yourself more and not pretend so much anymore. Isn't this a perfect time to practice that? Maybe you can say to yourself, okay, I've got this meetup with this energy vampire soon, so I'm going to make sure that I don't go into it telling myself I need to be the best version of me, I need to be on good form, I'm going to give 100% of my energy. I'm going to instead give 50% of my energy or 40%. Sometimes just seeing this percentage can be quite a good way to just put things into perspective. Even when we're with people we love, we shouldn't be giving 100% of our energy because we want to keep a percentage for ourselves. We want to allow for silent moments and moments to recuperate. If we're constantly being on this amazing form, we're going to be knackered after we meet up with someone. So I just encourage you to not always be on best behavior, to be 100% there with people, because that is just going to exhaust you, even with people that you love hanging out with. So try giving 50% or 60% or whatever feels right to you. I know we can get so used to looking after other people and forgetting about ourselves, and people pleasing can become this habitual thing, and the thoughts that come with it can be so automatic. What are they thinking? What can I do to make them feel good? It can just come so quickly into our minds and we just follow that. I really get it. I've been a people pleaser for so many years and I'm gradually coming out of it. But sometimes I find myself falling into it, and that's okay too. I think the point is I'm always ready to remind myself that I matter too. Detaching from what other people want and centering what I want. So I know from personal experience that the thoughts in our heads can sometimes make situations 10 times worse. And when I feel stuck with somebody who I consider draining, sometimes I get these thoughts in my head like, oh my God, why are you here? Why did you agree to do this? Oh my God, this is such a waste of time. Oh my God, you're never going to get this time back. When the situation is draining and the thoughts in your head are draining, of course, it just amounts to this horrific experience that you just do not want to be in again. Whilst these concerns are valid, our time is short on this planet Earth and we want to spend it with people we like. I also think it's really important to remember that we're not always going to be having the best time with people and feeling really good around people. And sometimes that is a good thing because that facilitates growth and challenging ourselves. We can use these situations where we feel stuck to challenge ourselves and change the narrative in our head. Maybe this isn't a waste of time. Maybe you hanging out with this energy vampire is going to be a really valuable use of your time, because it's going to enable you to develop these life skills that you've always wanted to have. There is going to be a point in your life where you probably come across another energy vampire and you have to deal with them. That might be in your workplace, it might be a family member, it might be a friend that enters your friendship group. You might come across someone like this again. And wouldn't it be really valuable if you knew what to do? If you prove to yourself now that you can protect yourself, then future you can use that skill again and again and again. This experience might make you a stronger person in the long run. So I actually did this recently. I was in a situation with multiple energy vampires, and I really felt this urge to escape the situation. I didn't want to be there, and I really kind of kept hearing that going around in my mind. Oh my gosh, I don't want to be here. This is a waste of time. All those thoughts were really consuming my mind. But at the same time, my people-pleasing tendencies were saying, be nice to them, ask them lots of questions. And this just felt so blimmin' paralyzing. It's so exhausting having these kind of two opposing thoughts, wanting to escape and wanting to people-please. Now, in the end, I actually didn't do either. I didn't escape the situation, I didn't run away, and I didn't people-please. Instead, I stayed and I allowed myself to feel everything that was coming up. When I needed a breather, I took myself to the bathroom and looked out of the window for a bit. I reached out to somebody who I would consider a safe person, someone I trust, via text, and I reminded myself that there are people who are different to this. I didn't laugh at the jokes that these energy vampires were vocalizing that I found offensive. I got a piece of paper and started drawing when I was around them to give me that kind of protective bubble. I just really supported myself. I still interacted with them and was present with them, but I just had those little buffers that made it bearable for me. In fact, part of me really enjoyed it and relished in this new way of being, because I've been in this situation with these people quite a few times. Being able to be in that situation and not feel completely depleted really made me feel quite powerful. I didn't give 100% of me to these energy vampires, and in the past I certainly would have done that. I would have not broken eye contact. I would have been super overly smiley, and I would have just been, giving them my undivided attention. And I didn't do that. I put myself first, and I allowed myself to have moments for me. Please remind yourself that you deserve to comfort yourself and look after yourself in the presence of other people. Can I just say to you, your willingness to listen to people and care and be present with them is so beautiful, and that's rare in this world. There are so many distractions, so it's quite rare to find someone who will just sit and listen and be there with you. So if you're that person that makes people feel seen, you are a treasure and you deserve the same back. So please reserve some of that caring energy for yourself and for the people that will make you feel cared for. I really don't want to encourage transactional relationships. There are going to be points in time when people need your listening skills and you just kind of say less because they're going through something difficult. But hopefully they'll one day return the favour, and hopefully you'll know that that is something that you can utilise. You deserve people to hold space for you too. Ultimately, we decide as adults who we spend our time with. We have that freedom and that agency, and we should definitely thoughtfully ponder who we want to spend our time with and why, and really reflect on how people make us feel when we're around them. Time is our most valuable currency as humans. We're never going to make time back, and as I said earlier, our time on this planet Earth is short. So we want to use it wisely, and we want to spend it with people that make us feel alive and inspired and hopeful and connected and loved. I get that, it's not always going to be sunshine and roses, and sometimes people are going to project and not make us feel good, and we need to allow for that. But you don't owe anyone your company, especially if they don't appreciate it. I really appreciate you sitting with me, my lovely. I hope you feel a bit better after watching this video. Be sure to check out Magic Mind and subscribe and like and chat with everyone in the comment sections. We've got a wonderful YouTube community.